We're ready to go, so welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. I'm your host for today's program, Paul Demain. Many of the stories right here can also be found at our website, IndianCountryNews.com. Here are the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. U.S. Senators John Thune and Byron Dorgan want to replenish the number of law enforcement officers assigned to the Standing Rock Reservation that straddles their states. They said a surge of Bureau of Indian Affairs officers last summer, dubbed Operation Dakota Peacekeeper, bumped staffing levels from 13 to 37 on the reservation that's roughly the size of Connecticut. But the extra help is gone, and the crime rate, at one point more than 8 times the national average, is on the rise after dropping during the surge. Thune said President Barack Obama's budget didn't include additional funding for law enforcement on Standing Rock and other reservations. The South Dakota Republican said he has been unsuccessful at getting such an appropriation from Congress. Dorgan, a North Dakota Democrat and chairman of the Senate Indian Affairs Committee, was holding a hearing July 1st at Sitting Bull College in Fort Yates, North Dakota, which Thune also planned to attend. Financially strapped tribes do not have to hire attorneys to represent their interest in child welfare cases, the Nebraska Supreme Court has ruled. The court said preserving American Indian culture and saving tribes from extinction trumps any interest the state has in restricting the practice of law to lawyers only. The decision was a victory for the Ponca tribe of Nebraska, which has argued that a Dakota County juvenile court judge wrongly denied its rights under the Indian Child Welfare Act when he rejected the tribe's request to intervene in a child welfare case because it wasn't represented by an attorney. The case included 2 Ponca children that the state alleged needed help. The tribe's motion to intervene was submitted by a trained specialist who counsels tribes in juvenile cases. It argued it didn't have the money to hire attorneys to represent it in child custody proceedings. Fishermen from the Alaska village of near Marshall, Alaska, say they defied a closure on the Yukon River so they could catch king salmon, a revered food in the area. State and federal authorities have severely restricted king salmon on the Yukon River this summer to help the struggling run recover. Commercial fishing for king salmon hasn't been allowed, and subsistence fishing has been limited to 2 18-hour openings each week. King salmon has long been a staple food along the Yukon River. Residents dry or freeze the fish to eat year-round. Also, commercial fishing for the fish usually provides one of the few opportunities for villagers to make some money. This summer's restrictions are worrying residents who don't have enough king salmon to last a year, said Nick Andrew Jr., a member of the Ohagamot tribal government based in Marshall, a Yupik Eskimo village of about 417 people on the Yukon River, about 400 miles west of Anchorage, Alaska. He said, as we speak, only 20% of the village's king salmon needs have been met. He says it's a bad situation. Fishermen in 6 boats caught 100 king salmon in gill nets recently, cut the fish for drying and freezing, and delivered it to widows, elders, and disabled residents. Andrew said one elderly woman cried when her portion was delivered. A Creek woman is unhappy with plans to remove a hill containing an American Indian site near where a Sam's Club store is being built in Oxford, Alabama. Sharon Jackson said she was contacted by the store's parent company, Walmart, Governor Bob Riley's office, and other local and national lawmakers to express her concerns. The hill includes a stone mound that is the largest of its kind in the state, according to the Alabama Historical Commission. The site is believed to be at least 1,500 years old. The city has paid to have the hill taken down and used as fill for the discount store. Oxford Mayor Leon Smith and City Project Manager Fred Denny said the site was used to send smoke signals. A Jackson State archaeologist professor said it could contain human remains. A major housing project on the Fort Berthold Reservation is underway. Tribal and community leaders broke ground Monday for a 200-plus homes initiative. Its goal is 210 homes in districts across the reservation. Tribal Councilman Mervyn Packanu said the project is a dream come true for tribal residents who could not afford their own homes in the past. Tribal Chairman Marcus Levine said earlier that $9 million in federal stimulus money would be used to improve housing, roads, and water systems on the reservation. A group formed to preserve Chippewa tree rights and natural resources in northern Wisconsin has reached a milestone. The Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission has events planned to celebrate its 25th anniversary. The group was created in 1984 by 11 Chippewa tribes in the Great Lakes region after federal courts ruled they retained off-reservation hunting, fishing, and gathering rights on public lands under treaties with the U.S. government in the 1800s. The anniversary celebration begins July 2nd with an open house during the Big Top Chautauqua near Bayfield, featuring displays and presentations of the Commission's accomplishments. A 3-day symposium to celebrate the treaties and examine how they've affected the life in the past 25 years starts July 28th at the Bad River Convention Center in Odena, Wisconsin, near Ashland, Wisconsin. A company owned by American Indians has been awarded more than $500,000 to bring electricity from solar power to Navajo homes that now lack electricity. Sacred Power, Inc. of Albuquerque was awarded the grant through the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The company went into partnership with local chapter houses on the Navajo Nation in New Mexico and Arizona to secure USDA grants for modular hybrid solar photovoltaic stations to provide electricity. The USDA says such stations combine photovoltaic panels plus controls, battery storage, and a backup small wind turbine and propane generator to provide reliable electricity sources to homes. Systems are built at Sacred Power's Albuquerque plant, then moved to the home. We'll be out of the office on July 2nd while covering several events in the region and for the funeral services of Franklin Barber here at La Coudray, so join with us again on July 4th for the latest Native News Update. July 3rd for the latest news update. That's on Friday, or check out some of our featured program in the featured digital channel at IndianCountryTV.com. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank our underwriters for helping us with this broadcast, and certainly to you for joining with us again and again. Come back again soon, and me, Gwetch, have a great day.